There's more love in this world than we realize. If anybody is ever having a bad day, they just have to go to a Habitat site because there's no way you could go out there and not come back changed.
This is the American dream for me, having a house.
The Whirlpool build is like coming home.
Habitat and Whirlpool really made that dream come true.
I was born poor, raised poor.
My 3 kids and myself, we were sleeping all together in one bed.
It's a very humbling experience trying to raise 2 babies, living on Section 8 or food stamps or, daycare vouchers.
I was a single mom. I had Nicholas, and we lived in an apartment. We had horrible neighbors. Not a great situation.
I didn't feel good about myself. I wanted a home. I wanted a yard. I wanted security and feeling safe. I'll never forget where I was the day that I found out I was one of the 22 families that got accepted for the Jimmy Carter work project. I just couldn't believe it. So the day that I pulled up to do the build, oh my goodness, all these people were waiting. It was like I was a celebrity. There is wood, there are cranes, there are tools, there are hard hats everywhere. And I was sweating out here with everybody else, all these volunteers and people to help make this possible. Coolest thing I've ever seen in the entire world. It was in February of 2019 that my son Nicholas and we put that key in the door and opened it up. I was like, this is our house, Nicholas. I got a really nice framed picture of all the Whirlpool employees and President Carter and his wife, and then my son and I. The next thing we did was just get all of the stuff in the kitchen, and then we worked on Nicholas's room and then my room. Having a brand new refrigerator and a brand new stove and washer and dryer is absolutely amazing. I was excited to go out and buy that laundry soap and that fresh smelling dryer sheet. When we finally got to sit down and have that first home cooked meal, I think I had a glass of wine and I think we had ice cream sundaes. I'll never forget that first meal. And with being in this house, I met a really nice man. We have a little girl, Brinley Faith. She did a lot of firsts in this house. She took her first steps here. I feel better about myself, as a person, as a young woman, as a mother, as a wife. My kids have the opportunity to run around and play and be safe. We have a place to call home. Will never be enough for what I feel inside my heart, but I just want to thank you very, very deeply for everything that you guys have all done.
Heather and Nicholas's journey really represents the core of our vision at Whirlpool Corporation, to be the best kitchen and laundry company in the world in constant pursuit of improving life at home, which simply means that everyone can trust our products. Products to help them feed, clean, and care for their families, and to give them the confidence that they deserve when they walk out their door. I actually believe there's something magical about a Habitat home. There's something about the heart and the soul that everybody puts into that home and doing it in a shared way, and that love is passed on to that family. And I actually think at that moment when they unlock that door and they connect with all those volunteers who gave of their time to build that house, it transforms into a home. And when you have that home, you dream more, you do better. And that's really and truly what this relationship with Habitat's all about. But around the world, 1.6 billion people live in substandard housing. That's why we love our regional program and partners like Consulado del Mujer, Moments Not to Be Wasted, Care Counts, and the Boys and Girls Clubs that offer services, but most importantly, strength to those who need it the most. Over the last 21 years, we've helped hundreds of thousands of families. We think we can double that in 5 years. And that's the real power of transformation that we're trying to achieve, that housing is at the very core of human need, and safe and affordable homes are what unlocks the opportunity for every community and every neighbor and every individual That's why we view house and home as so central to making a difference in society. And I want to thank every Whirlpool employee, every volunteer, because the fact that you care, that's just what makes being on this earth better for all of us. We become resilient, we trust, we flourish. For Whirlpool, this is home.
My son knows that he has a future story now.
It meant the world for us.
Thank you again for helping my mom accomplish her dream.
You changed my entire course of life.
They made my dream come true.
Even 5 years later, coming home every single day and walking through the door and closing it behind you. You're home. You're home.